Well, I hadn't cranked the bike up in a couple of days, so I decided I was going to run into town. I also got a little hungry for a pizza. I hadn't had one of those in a while, so I think I'll run by Chicago Pizza and indulge a little bit. Whole bike running good. I still can't believe that how much I enjoy this sidecar. It really suits me well. Go to the grocery store, go camping. It's like a pickup on a motorcycle. It works good for me. Well, we're gonna take and be a little adventurous today and jump out on 35. I know that's gonna be a trip. These crazy people on here. I tell you one thing, you better have your neck on a swivel when you crawl up on Interstate 35. I think that you gotta be a little bit crazy to drive on that thing to start with. I'm talking about the car drivers. Truck drivers are not too bad. There's just a heck of a lot of them. And this time of the year, them gators, them tires are everywhere. You gotta sure stay on your toes, or you'll be hitting one of those stupid things, and they will tear some stuff up. I want to stop up here and get a little bit of fuel. They get off on this service road. There's a station right down the road, so it won't be too bad to fuel up before we head in. I got caught the other day and couldn't get premium fuel. I had to put regular in this thing. I didn't know how that was going to work, but it didn't seem to bother it a bit. I couldn't tell much difference in it. So I'm glad to know that in case I get on one of these trips and I can't take and find anything but regular fuel. This little station I'm going to stop at up here, and they've got the premium fuel. It seemed like pretty good fuel. They roll it over pretty quick, so I have it a little higher, but I know it's fresh anyway. Oh, it done got to be Texas heat rolling out here now. It's been bouncing around anywhere from 100, 101, 102, 103. I think the other day the heat index was like 115. And boy, you can feel it on this asphalt. Ain't no doubt about that. Talking about fueling this little old bike up. This is a Road Glide. I think the motor's been worked on a little bit, but that's the one thing I've been disappointed at in it. It gets about, it'll run between 29 and 31 miles a gallon, which is still better than a vehicle, but I understand without the sidecar that the things are getting, 45, 50 miles a gallon. So that, I guess there's a lot of wind drag with that sidecar. I know I get a lot more wind up on the right side of that bike than I do the left side up against my legs and stuff. Well, here's a little old station. I'm going to pull in here and fuel up. I'll get back with y'all in a minute. There's one thing about these sidecars, you pull in and fuel up, normally you don't get in and out of a place without talking to somebody about it. This thing got a 5 3/8 gallon tank, I believe it is. I'll run it 120, 130 miles and fuel it up. It usually takes about 4 gallons, somewhere around there. But never have. One time I ran it down to where I put 5 gallons in it, and just didn't have a choice. There wasn't any service stations around. It doesn't seem to matter if you get it loaded a little heavier. It's wind resistance, I think. Well, here we go. We can jump up on that super slide. See if we can duck and dodge and make it through. I tell you what, I've enjoyed this Road Glide and the power it's got. You start pulling up on this like the interstate here, and you can just roll up on that thing a little bit. Don't really have to hammer it and jump. Time you come off access road, you'll be sitting on 70, 75 or more if you don't watch it. I usually try to hold this thing, somewhere between 75 and 80 if I'm going downhill or something. And dead burn cars, just, it's like you're driving 50 miles an hour. These people on Interstate 35, I think they're some of the fastest drivers there is around. Seems like everybody's running 80, 85 up here now. You better have your head on a swivel though, because you got cars coming in from the right, people not watching, cutting in front of you. And I think that's why 200 miles on a bike's about like 400 miles in a car. You've got to be tensed up and watching what you're doing. Yeah. But I do enjoy getting up on this old super slide and taking and setting it on about 75 and setting that cruise and just rolling. I need to take a trip out in West Texas with this thing where I can just set it, enjoy it, and not worry about getting run over too much. On this thing, I'm continually checking mirrors and turning my head back to check the access roads coming in. And it's sort of like I told that buddy of mine when he bought his bike the other day. I said, you can ride a bike pretty dead burn safe if you'll ride it like everybody that you see is trying to run over you on purpose. If you ride like that, you'll be all right. I've owned a lot of bikes in my life, and this just second Harley I've owned, but this old Road Glide is something else. I really enjoy it. Watch this fool. Turned his blinker on after he got in my lane. It's a good thing I was watching those mirrors and slowed it down a little bit. It's a good thing they're in a car with a cage around them. They wouldn't last long, I don't think. I'm playing with this camera a little bit on my helmet, and I can't get it straightened up just like I want it. I notice it's leaning just a little bit. I'm going and do a little bit more work to it, and maybe the next go round will be a little bit better, be sort of lined up better. I'll try it on top of the helmet, looking straight forward. See if I can do that and still flip my helmet up. I like that full face helmet. It's pretty dead burn hot out there, but if you're running down the highway with that wind blowing on you, it's still not too bad. It's not like riding late in the afternoon. When that sun starts going down, that's my favorite time to ride. It's cool. And the only bad part about that is the critters start moving about that time, and the bugs and that kind of stuff. But it sure is nice to crawl up on these bikes when it's like that. You see what I mean about that? I'm sitting on 75, 76, and I'm not catching a whole lot of folks. I guess you seem like if you roll it up on about 80, that you sort of moving with the flow of traffic then. And there's a lot of cops out through here. I'm surprised that they don't write more tickets than they do. I'm sitting on 75. You watch that car to the left, and that truck, how fast they're pulling away from me. There's a little bit of one of them gators on the road. The last couple of weeks I've been riding this bike, I've taken and couple times I've had to really duck and dodge to keep from hitting one, have somebody in front of me and not see it until you're right up on top of it. That can get a little bit rough. And that's one thing I don't like to do. I'll sort of goose a bike a little bit to get away from it. I don't like to run right behind them old big trucks or right beside them. If you never know when they're going to throw one of them caps off one of them tires. If they throw a whole cap off and it hit you, you'd be in bad trouble. I just don't hang out next to them too much. I live out in the edge of Waco. It's about a 15-minute drive to get into town, so that's not bad at all. It sort of keeps you out. There's a lot of country roads out there that sort of keep you off these old big interstates where I live, and I do most of my riding out there. But if I really need to get into Waco, well, I'll jump up on this thing. You just gotta continually be looking around and watching, just like his access road right here. You better be looking back, not just looking in that mirror. I'm gonna pull off up here and take and turn up onto the interstate. The Waco Harley's sitting right there. I need to walk in there, and they've got a little part ordered for this bike. I'm gonna ease in there and pick it up. Then I'm gonna ease on down to Walmart and do what little bit of stuff I got to do there. And then I'll go and get me that pizza. My belly button getting awful close to my backbone. I'm getting hungry. That one thing about this part of Waco was that Harley shop sitting right there, and there's another motorcycle shop just about 2 or 3 blocks down 35 that handles a bunch of different kind of bikes. You're always seeing motorcycles in this area right in here, and you're continually rolling in and out. Good old construction. Everywhere you look on these interstates, there's construction. I don't think they'll ever get through with it. Seems like about the time they get through with one thing on a section of road, they decide to do something else to it, widen it out or do something. Boy, it's amazing the difference. You slow down and or have to stop and wait on a red light, and that heat will start eating you up then. I guess that's just Texas weather, though. We'll be thinking about that this winter when we're still riding and them boys up north done put their bikes up 3 months ago. Well, come on, red light, let's go. It's the longest dang light right here. I guess they've got it set up on kind of the Flying J right here on the corner. All that big truck coming through, I guess they got it set up long for them. But it sure is a long light. Pretty good looking bike sitting across the road. Well, I'm in a big Wally World parking lot. See if I can get out of here without getting run over. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the little bitty ride we did today. We're gonna keep refining this stuff and maybe get where our videos are a little bit more professional. I doubt if we ever get into the drones and that kind of stuff. But if you will, subscribe, share, and like this thing. And we appreciate y'all looking at them. And if you don't want to do any of that, just watch the video.